connecting to multi-streaming destinations. That's what it says. Oh, I don't see any comments yet. Usually, well, I guess that's when we're late. We're right on time. Our audience is not going to know what to do, baby. And we may have a small audience because Lisa Lawrence is doing a
Because
auction.
what?
Lisa Lawrence, she's one of our friends. She's doing an auction for Carmen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Carmen is closing, and so she's selling all her stuff, and she had an event this weekend, and
Is this link the one Recycled Academy? One that I should be using?
yes. Oh wait, was that for the color class?
I don't know. You just sent me a link. It said Recycled Academy offers.
No. Oh well, if they put hashtag guide, they'll get the link for the color guide. And then, hey Stephanie, we fooled you, huh? Because we're on time. Everyone's like, what is going on? They're here already. Hey Shannon, how are you? I'm with you, Shannon. I'm staying indoors all summer. That's how I'm getting through the heat. What was I saying? I forgot now. Never mind. I'm all over the place a little bit today, so hopefully, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, y'all. Because my idea about what I want to do today keeps changing. And so David's making sure we're where we are. Tonight, you guys, we are going to be playing with some scrapwood houses. And I have some paint colors. So we're going to go through some paint colors and we're going to talk about like color, temperature, and we're also going to talk about like our expectations of color, or kind of like how we file colors away in our minds. And we're going to do some exercises, although I don't have them quite worked out how we're going to do them, but we'll figure it out. It'll be fine, right? We'll make it work.
The that air conditioner is
it really loud?
It is loud, but guess what? We're keeping it on.
Okay. Is it loud on my mic too, though?
That's all I hear right now is yours. I don't even hear me yet.
Oh.
I'm not there yet. I can turn it off, but
let's try just for a little bit.
We're gonna melt.
We'll turn it back on if we start melting.
All right.
But it's comfortable. I should have turned it down to like 62.
I don't know that that's gonna matter.
And gotten it like really cold in here, though, is what I'm saying. And then we probably had some more time. But it's working overtime. That's why it's so loud. Let it rest for a little bit. Maybe it'll be quieter when it comes back on. But let's say hi to everybody, babe. I don't know. Are you ready to say hi to everybody?
You're far away too. I got your microphone up.
I don't know. How do we sound, you guys? You guys tell us how we sound to you. And I have my mic on this side too, babe, since I have a tendency to talk this way because I'm talking to you. Hopefully you guys can't hear me slurping and swallow my coffee. And yes, I'm drinking hot coffee even though I'm hot. It's a whole thing. It's just... Stephanie, I'd melt. I know. It's hot here. Actually, today is decent. We've had overcast all day, but earlier this week was hot. Not even hot, y'all, but hot. Extra hot.
I'm going to blame you.
You're going to blame me for the heat?
No, I'm going to blame you for the sound because you like to accuse me of bad hearing. I'm not going to disagree. But you mumble a lot.
Do I mumble a lot?
And with headphones on, there were a couple times where I had trouble hearing you. You are not projecting.
I see. That's our story. We're going to stick to it.
No, it's the truth.
Okay.
Because sometimes you come through nice and loud and sometimes you don't. So.
Okay. Rebecca says we sound fine with the air on. Rebecca, if we start getting hot, girl, we're going to turn the air back on.
Oh, yeah.
We're just going to let the unit rest for a few minutes and then maybe it won't be so loud because it's been having to work really hard this week. And, you know, I can tell I need to clean the filter too. But we digress. Let's say hi to everybody, babe.
Well, we don't have very many on right now. On Facebook, we have Stephanie Devine, Dorothy Leish, who talks about Carmen's auction.
Yes, I was gonna say a lot of people. We may have low numbers tonight because I know the auction started at 5. Well, it started an hour ago, but I'm not sure if they're still going
Okay. Flea Brown is on Facebook. Deborah Fusilier is there. And Sheila Mortensen Teagan. Oh, Beverly Skeens is also watching.
Hello, hello.
On YouTube, Patty Hogan, Yolanda Payton Jones, Redeemed from Manistee, Michigan, very breezy 60 degrees. Vicki Moore, Heather McDonald says you should leave the AC on, stay cool, can hear just fine over it. And Vicki said the same thing.
I know. I think I'll turn it back on.
It's pleasant at the moment.
Is it? Because I'm sweating. Of course, I'm sipping hot coffee too.
Yeah.
Okay. So whoever's here, you guys, we appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for coming to hang out with us. Tonight I don't know, y'all. I had an idea for what I was going to do, and then I did not. I'll tell you guys about it later, what happened to me today. I got off track today, but so next week, you guys, what we're going to do is I'm going to decoupage something that's larger than my paper, and then I'm going to show you guys how knowing how to mix your colors helps you be able to feather in your decoupage to paint around it when it's not large enough. We're going to do that. I was hoping to do that today, but I didn't have my stuff together. But we're going to do something just as fun. We're going to talk about color temperature today. So hot colors versus cold colors, and what that means for us. Like, why do we care when we're creating, right? So we're going to set up some samples and have some fun. I'm going to ask you guys to really participate tonight. We'll be asking questions, and I'm actually going to wait for you guys to answer before I decide what I'm going to do this time.
All right. We have a few more people on, so let me say hi to Sheila Teagan, Carol Cahoon, Pamela Adair, Ginger Bailey from Dahlonega, Georgia. All right. Sergine Crosset from Ottawa, Canada. Amanda Velderman, Sandra Jean Mata from Tucson, Vance Bryce from the great city of Safford.
Hey, Vance.
Jill Gomez Haley from Florida, Tony Baldessare Webb, Memory Williams from Amarillo, Texas.
Amarillo.
And Amanda Valderman said, signed up for the color class, looking forward to it.
Oh, thank you so much. I am looking forward to it too, although it's a 3-day master class with a project, and y'all, I keep adding stuff. So I'm gonna have to, I'm gonna behave though.
So we should talk about this. Last week, somebody asked, because you always do free training for retailers, would this qualify as a free training?
No. So for my retailers, this is a $10 masterclass, you guys. I don't want this to count as you guys' annual free. Lexi and I have been talking, and we're going to have another stencil masterclass coming up soon, and that one will be free for you guys. So just look for information about that coming up.
You had said you wanted to think about it.
Yeah.
So I want people to know we really do. When we remember, we'll readdress things.
Yes, I know what.
We just don't remember very often.
Know. I just didn't know, because this is like it's like a mini course, right? It's a mini class. But the como se dice, the stencil class will be like a full class, like my normal full classes, and that one will be free for you guys, which is kind of a heads up that there may be some new stencils coming out soon.
So
we do have a stencil master class coming
I got to
out.
ask, you said there was a hashtag. Excuse me, you said there was a a hashtag?
Yes. So if you guys have not gotten your guide, your tips and tricks to laying your decoupage for mixed media, you can put hashtag guide, GUIDE, if you're on Facebook. And then I think I have a QR code for my, oh, there it is. If you're on Facebook, you can use it. If you're on YouTube, here's a QR code that you can use. That'll take you where you can sign up to get your free guide. And you guys, I want to show you this guide, because it's not like just a page of information. Like, it's a full-on guide. So you have your tips and tricks for layering. There's decoupage, paint and decoupage paper, transfers and decoupage paper, stamps and decoupage paper, stencils and decoupage paper, decoupage paper and decoupage paper. And then this is just like a challenge for you to do, to challenge yourself to work outside of like your comfort zone. And my brain dump, which is just kind of a place for you to take notes. And then the last page is just information on where you can find courses. But this is the guide, and it's free. So you guys can put hashtag guide in the comments and you'll get your guide. And if my YouTubers need me to put the code back up, I can. You guys can just let me know. So. Did you say hi? Oh yeah, you said hi to everybody already.
I said hello to everybody.
Okay.
No, I didn't. Not to everybody, but
we said, hey, how you doing? Okay. So tonight, look, I have way too much stuff out tonight. I have transfers out. I pulled this one out. It's super pretty. This is by IOD, and it's one of their mini ones. But it has tons of really pretty roses on it. And I tried to pull out things that have different personalities because I want to have conversations tonight as we create about the temperature of color, but also like the personality of colors and kind of how we clearly associate different colors with different things. And so I'm going to be asking for input because I'm curious to see if I'm right. This one is an old transfer. It's Desperado. Super cute. I mean, this is like Southwest. I think everybody in my backyard will probably love this transfer. So this is one. And then I have my paint inlay. This is one of my favorite paint inlays. This is the Melange paint inlay. And I love this one because it has so many yummy bits in it for you to use for multiple projects. So these are the things I have pulled out. I also, I have like, I couldn't find a full sheet. I'm actually kind of sad. Of the recycled fall botanicals paper. So I have like leftover bits from that one.
okay, I have a question.
Okay, hold on, babe. Let me do one more thing.
Okay.
And then I have the recycled pressed flowers decoupage paper out as well. I feel like I'm a little too close. Do I need to back up some? You guys let me know if it gets to the point where sometimes when things are too tight, you can't see well. It's actually, I think it's too tight. I'm gonna pull it up just a little bit. Not enough for you guys to see my messy table, but just a little bit.
All right, can I ask my question?
Yes, you can answer.
You had previously sent me a Roycycled Academy link. Should I put it up or is it closed?
What is that for the masterclass?
I think.
I think so. I think you can put that one up, yes.
Okay.
I think that's what it was for. Honestly, I don't remember. I think it may have been my link in bio because I was working on something. Poor David, you guys.
It says RoycycledAcademy.com offers.
Well, click it and see where it takes you. Oh, no, then it'll take you out. Go ahead and copy and paste it. It's fine.
All right, let me see where it
Worst
takes.
case scenario, it'll take you to the link in bio where you can see the free guide and the color, the crafting and color course.
Let me see.
But let's start painting first. I have 3 houses, you guys. These are all like houses we made. From
Yeah, that's
scrapwood.
Masterclass Crafting in Color.
Okay, thank you, babe.
You got it.
These are all houses that we made from some scrap wood last year, and we made a ton of them, so I still have some. So I thought we could give like all 3 houses different personalities, but let's start with paint. So my first question for tonight, and I'm gonna wait for answers before we start. When you guys think of the color orange, do you think of orange as being a cool color or a warm color? I'm just curious. Or a hot color? No, I'm just kidding. Cool or warm?
Rebecca Aguayo says, FYI, dust inside your mini split. Also pull out the screens and blow off each screen. It will aid in the longevity of your unit.
Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. I can tell I need to change the, the filter because I'm looking at the outside. It's dirty.
Flea says both. Shannon says warm. Rebecca says Halloween. Amanda says warm. Deborah, how do I pronounce it? Fuselier or Fuselier says warm. Tracy B warm. Petty Hogan warm.
And I think that's the general consensus, right? Because when most of us think about orange, and we're going to use this orange, we think about a really, really warm orange, right? So we think about this color as being orange, which is like a really warm color.
Just to let you know, almost everybody says warm.
Yeah. Flea's she's in the membership, so she knows the answer already. But you guys, warm or cool is relative. It just depends on what it's next to, because look, if I were to show you this orange, would you say that this orange was warm? It's not, right? Especially sitting next to this really hot orange.
And Pamela McDowell says warm depends on the color of your orange.
Yeah, right? And so this is a cool orange, even though it's warmer than, a really cool blue. It's still, compared to like the hot orange that probably most of you just thought about in your minds, when I asked the question, it's a really cool orange. And so when we are creating our projects, you guys, we can evoke emotion in people based on what colors we use. So for my first house tonight, I want to use these two colors together. Look, I don't even know what I'm going to do.
It's Deborah Fuselier. Thank you, Deborah.
Okay. For my first house, I want to use these two colors together, which this is like hot and hot, right? It's getting hot in here. No, I'm just kidding. So we're going to use these two colors on our first house tonight. And I'm just curious. So you guys see that I'm using these two colors together, right? My colors always look bluer on my screen. This one looks greener in person.
It definitely looks different on
Depending on what device.
Facebook. I want to try and do this so you could see them both. This one's YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube is, I just think YouTube is just a better definition than Facebook.
Yeah.
And there's no getting
Facebook's
around
just a little softer for me. Then again, I'm on an extremely old tablet.
Oh, that's true. It might be your tablet.
So it could be my tablet.
So just by looking at these two colors, I'm going to ask you guys, especially for these two because they're both black and white, which inlay would you say goes with these two colors? Would you say that this one does, the melange, or would you say that the Desperado would be the transfer that we would use with these two colors? I'm curious to see if you guys' minds work like mine does, and I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to use a stencil, but I don't know which one.
While you look for a stencil, let me just say, if you're on YouTube, please be sure to hit the thumbs up, make a comment. Comments really help the channel.
Yes.
And hit the heart button. We would love that. What did we say this week?
Oh, we said we were going to do the
heart, right?
Yeah, well, is there a heart button?
There's a heart on my...
oh, yeah, there's a love, right? Yeah, let's do the love. Show me, you have to show us the love.
And
where is the love?
On Facebook, please share. On YouTube, you can also subscribe, and you can customize your notifications.
Yes.
So you don't have to get overwhelmed with everything. You can customize it. So this is the only notification you want if you want it. But subscribing really does help. So yeah, comment, subscribe, hit the thumbs up. We really appreciate it. On Facebook, share it, please. Share this video, because not everybody that likes this is seeing this right now.
Yes.
It's the nature of Facebook. And as we said, we're going for the heart today.
Last week I was laughing because there were a lot of crying ones. Not a lot, but there were some.
So, and also I'm on Android, so I'm limited on the emojis. I've seen some emojis that you guys push that I don't have. Have a ball. So comment, share, hit an emoji. It all helps. We really appreciate it.
Please and thank you. So this color that I'm using is called Mandarina.
All right, so here's what we've got, because you asked for comments.
Yeah.
Amanda says Desperado, Shannon, Desperado, Barbara, Melange, Billy Rosendahl, Melange, Beverly Skeen, Melange, Carol Cahoon, Desperado, Walsamore, Melange, Not Too Shabby, Desperado, Beverly Burr, Desperado, Stephanie Bickus, Desperado, as is Kathleen Hoovis, Chris Schmidt, Nancy Griven, I'll say Desperado, and let's go over to the YouTubes, and Deborah Fuselier, Amber Demakowitz, both say Desperado.
I am surprised that we had any melange. Now, Beverly Skeen said melange, right? She was one of them?
Yes.
Okay, it's because she lives in Arizona, probably. Because I think people outside of Arizona have an idea of Southwest that maybe those of us who live here don't necessarily have. So I was just curious of who said melange, because I was thinking that when you see these two colors together, that a lot of times you think of either bohemia or you think about, Southwest. So it's interesting that colors are not just like benign, right? They're not just um, pretty things that aren't attached to our perceptions around things like culture and expectations or even communications. So when we look at color combinations, whether we know it or not, we've already attached kind of different things to it. Now that varies from person to person, obviously, because it depends on our experiences, right? But when I saw these two colors together, I thought like, Bohemia or Southwest, which is why I thought Desperado would be perfect to go with this house.
Because I'm reading, I'm not looking at your videos. Desperado the blue?
No, Desperado is this transfer with the kind of
Southwest. Transfer. Okay, because you're doing
the transfer.
The orange and blue, to me, is the Chicago Bears.
Well, it's not really blue though. It's like a teal. That's what I'm saying to you. It looks more blue online, but it really is more of a teal than a blue. On my screen, it looks more blue too than it really is.
Yeah.
That's always weird when that happens. So I'm going to do 2 coats of my orange, and then I'm going to find a stencil over here, and we're going to put on some blue, something blue. I mean, not blue, teal. And then we're going to use our Desperado on top of this. I'm debating on the edges. I think because we're using Desperado, I should just like put some dark wax or something on the edges.
Vicky Moore said you've made the song Desperado stuck in her head.
Desperado. That's how, you know what? My mind, you guys, every time somebody says something, a song pops into my head. I'm not even kidding. My poor husband.
Angie Champagne says with the teal Miami Dolphins. I agree. See, I'm not seeing it as teal. I'm seeing it as blue. Yeah. So that's why I'm going Bears. But yes, I mean, Angie, yes. If it looked teal on my screen, I'd agree with you.
Now, some of you might be thinking, like that color.
Yeah, Angie, Howard Johnson. Careful now. That might show just a little bit of age. Let's see. Kathleen Uvis says it reminds me of folk art colors. And Billy Rosendahl says would love to see something boho.
Yes, that's what we're going to do something. So, I mean, depending on, like, again, your experience, right? You may interpret this transfer different. Some people will look at this and say, oh, that's Southwest. Some people would look at this and say, oh, that's boho. So it really depends, right, on what your expectations are. But we're going to use that transfer. I do feel like this orange might be a little bright. And so I'm going to cheat. And I am, well, you know what? Maybe not. Maybe not. We're going to leave it for now. I don't know. What should I do? Should I stay or should I go now? Let's see. I am just going to take a little bit. We'll take a little bit of paint. I probably should use mine.
Patty Girding said, just screwed up on an inlay.
Oh, I'm sorry. You can reuse it, though. Because I'm thinking this orange seems like it's really, really bright.
Deborah Fuzi, I gotta look it up again. Fusile says it looks teal on the big screen. Oh, okay. So maybe it's just our phones or our tablets.
Every screen is different. So I'm gonna ask you guys, I'm gonna paint this more kind of a neutralized orange on here. And that looks more like pumpkin orange. I think I like the first orange better. What do you guys think? This one's more neutral. This one's way more bright. I kind of like the brighter one better. Right?
Again, on my screen, it looks more mustard.
Oh, it definitely looks more like pumpkin orange. This one does. Or like a squash orange.
Okay.
But yes. And it's more neutralized. It's not as bright and vibrant. This one is super vibrant, but I think I prefer the vibrant over this one. Especially when it deepens. I don't know.
Shannon says, what are the color names?
This one is called Mandarina, and this one is Siren Song.
Flea likes the bright one. Nancy likes the bright one. Shannon Booth likes the bright one.
Yeah.
Amber Demakowitz says the first orange.
I think the brighter one was better, right?
Nancy Griffin says, David, your screen is wrong. I'm saying my screen is wrong. I'm in agreement.
We're going to go back with the heat, you guys. We're going to...
Angie Champagne says she waited tables at Howard Johnson's the year she graduated college. Her hometown had one of the last ones in the country, and it was on the show Mad Men.
Oh, wow.
Chris Schmidt says, brighter is better.
Chris knows me all too well. I want to grunge it up all the time. Okay, we'll stick with the bright. Although now I've kind of jacked it up. It's okay. We're going to put a bunch of stencils on here. Nobody will know by the time we're done. But you guys can see where I put that. Okay, I'm going to have to like...
Hi, Julie from Apache Junction.
Put this other color other places just to not have that line.
Good screen name, Made on Maple Lane. I hope that's a business because it's a great name. Over on YouTube. Thank you for joining us. And Made on Maple says gold. I think you're the only one that said gold.
That said the gold color?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't want to just have a line of that color, so I just kind of went in and mixed it in just a little bit. So everything doesn't look, although I can still see it. I can still see it. It's okay. We're going to move forward, y'all. Don't let me get stuck, because I will.
Min's Cass, I thought the Howard Johnson was a quickie motel. No, it was McDonald's before McDonald's.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
That was the close to national restaurant chain at a time when you just didn't have restaurant chains. Billy Bourne Rosendahl, what if you mixed it up on the house and didn't go with one color?
I know, that's kind of what I ended up doing, just mixing it up because it's on there now and I didn't want to have just a line. So it's just kind of on there, but it's going to be okay because we're going to go over this with the stencil. So it's not like you're going to be able to like see it. Like see it. Y'all know what I'm trying to say.
Kathleen Hoover says the color you created looks like the second orange you showed in the beginning.
Right? That's what I thought about too. And it's funny because when I picked this up, I thought in my mind how you would create this color. And you guys, understanding how colors work really is super powerful because seldom are we able to find a color that we want to use that is the exact color that we see in our minds, right?
Pamela McDowell says, how I remember Howard Johnson's was my older sister worked there and cut off part of her finger.
Ouch.
Nancy Griffin said, best fried clams were at Howard Johnson. My mother loved Howard Johnson's fried clams, yes. So you are 100% right, Nancy.
Fried clams?
Yeah.
Huh.
It was the only place I know she ordered them. I remember her ordering them.
I mean, you'd have to make those right, because if you didn't, they'd be like eating fried erasers.
Yeah, I was going to say rubber bands.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the only place I remember her getting them, and she got them every time.
That's what escargot, well, I don't know. I had escargot at a restaurant, and that's what I felt like I was eating, some garlic erasers.
I'm that way with, what's the fried octopus called?
I knew it until you asked me.
Yeah. So I'm assuming I've never had good.
Yes.
But I find it rubbery.
Yeah, well, I did too, but we went to Spago's in Vegas years ago, and whenever we want to go to a fancy restaurant, we always go for lunch because you can eat cheaper. And we had calamari.
Calamari,
right?
thank you.
And we had calamari. Oh my gosh, babe, it was so good.
So that's why I say I assume I've had bad.
Yeah.
So.
It was so good.
Yeah.
And then one of my friends pretended like it was her birthday, and they bought us the best chocolate cake I've ever had in my life.
Julie Brawley says, looks like the color of a pumpkin.
I know, that's what that, oh, the bright orange. We're gonna put some, we're gonna play with this color.
Amanda Velderman says Karaage, K-A-R-A-A-G-E. I'm not sure what that is. Everybody else is saying calamari. Thank you. Ari Sanchez is watching. Hi, Ari.
Hey, Ariana.
Who would not let me post a photo of her.
I knew when you sent that she was going to say no.
That's why I checked first on that one.
I was like, ooh, you supposed to get in trouble.
She's 8 months and was in pajamas with socks. She was not having it.
No.
I didn't know we were supposed to. We had breakfast over with Ari Sanchez and Kathy.
That's our daughter-in-law, by the way.
Yes.
Oh.
And they made phenomenal biscuits and gravy. And I didn't know we were supposed to go in pajamas. Nobody told me that part.
I didn't know that either.
Because they were mad when we walked in and said, "Where are your pajamas?"
We ran errands, though.
Yeah.
So this stencil is by Mara Lefay of Vintage Retail Therapy by Mara.
Here you go. Amanda Velderman says, and I hope I'm pronouncing it right, karagi or karage is deep fried octopus. Calamari is deep fried squid.
Oh, okay.
I was not aware. Thank you. All I know is it was bad, what I had.
It was bad. That's all he knows. Okay, I'm trying to figure out what, because I want to put something decorative on here.
Amber Demakowitz says, I use my color wheel all the time.
Yes. Me too, Amber. I have it right here on my table. Color is interesting, though. You guys know, so I'm going to nerd out for just a second. I'm apologize ahead of time. But color is a really weird thing because we all literally interpret color differently, right? So when you say color, so if I point at this and say this is teal, I am literally just like putting my finger on one data point out of like 3 million plus colors, because colors are really like a huge continuum. If you take a color wheel, right, and you take it and splay it out on the side, it would be this continuum of like, I don't even know how many colors. And it really is just light, like the way we interpret the spectrum of light. And depending on how our rods and cones are in our eyes, we could, like I could be looking at this color in person and see it completely different than someone else based on like how their eyes work, right? I just think it's interesting.
Amanda Velderman agrees with me. She dislikes both as well. Calamari and karagi.
Calamari and
and she asked, what stencil is that?
This is a stencil by Mara Lefay. I don't know if it, I'll look at the name. I don't know if there was a name on there.
And Billy Rosendahl says she loves the part of the stencil that is up by the peak. So I think the part that you're going to use.
The part that I'm using. Although I'm trying to, my house is crooked, you guys. It's causing problems. So I'm going to line the stencil up with the peak of the house, which means it's not going to be centered. But
Ari Sanchez said her handsome husband is grilling hot dogs and hamburgers tonight.
Oh, he's only handsome if he brings me a plate up with the hamburger on it.
Pat Reed says, I would really like a lesson on a color wheel. Well, there just happens to be a class.
There happens to be one coming up. So crafting and color, you guys, we are going to talk about color theory, but not just like color theory like, oh, that's good to know. We're going to talk about it in terms of how we can use it and how we can really take advantage of our understanding of color in our crafting. And there's so much. I started taking art classes last year, and because of the way that I learn, I didn't just start taking like a class on how to do something. I started taking classes to learn about fundamentals, and there is so much that we can learn that is absolutely helpful in our creating. And I feel like the fundamentals of art are valuable whether you are crafting, quilting, you know, if you're a fine artist, obviously, you know what I'm saying, whether you're doing home decor, like the fundamentals work regardless of what kind of creating that you're doing. And so that's why I'm super excited about offering the crafting in color. Ah, man, I used too much paint. It's okay. The crafting in color masterclass that we have coming up. I'm super excited to share that. And honestly, that's kind of, the membership is fun. Like we meet regularly, we do crafts. There's a pre-recorded class, and then we meet together to do that craft. So you can see it a week ahead of time. to decide if you want to buy new supplies or if you want to make do with what you have. But all of our projects that we do kind of point to an idea or a basic element of art. And it helps us get a better understanding by not only learning about it, but also doing projects to kind of practice what we preach, I guess.
Flea Brown says karagi, I really hope I'm pronouncing that right, is the method of deep frying food including chicken, fish, and other meats.
Oh.
And Amanda said only seen it with octopus, didn't know they used it with other meats. If karagi, if I'm again pronouncing, hopefully I'm pronouncing it right.
I keep hearing pierogi every time you say that, but go ahead.
If that's Asian, I thought tempura was that method. But I don't know cooking, so.
We watch people cook on YouTube, but we don't cook.
Yeah. And Flea says she's only seen it with chicken.
And sometimes names are, like sometimes there might be something, I'm trying to think of something. Oh, like our regional. So if you come to Safford, Arizona, and you go to a restaurant and you want a burrito, you will see a burro on the menu.
You can ask for a burrito and you'll get one.
Yes, but generally we say burro,
Yes.
right? But if you ask somebody else what a burro is, they would be like, it's a donkey. Like, what are you talking about? So I think sometimes there's regional names for things too. I guess I'll get into my.
Well, sure. You know, sub sandwich, hoagie, po' boy, torpedo. It's all the exact same sandwich.
Yes, but it just depends, right?
Right.
So I think sometimes two things can be right at the same time, I guess is what I'm saying.
However, pizza in Chicago is real pizza. In New York, not so much.
You're funny. You're going to cause problems. I'm just putting down these shapes on here because we're going to go over with a transfer anyways. And I'm really more trying to like create a mood or a feeling than something that's like perfect.
Pamela McDowell says right now she's trying her hand at watercolors.
Ooh.
Cool.
We had a watercolor artist come into the group. Kim came in to teach us how to mix watercolors because it's different than mixing regular colors.
Oh, you know what we should talk about?
What?
What you did on Monday.
What did I do on Monday, baby?
Pop
Remind me.
art.
Huh?
Pop art. When we went to the library.
Oh yeah, I know I didn't post pictures yet. Our public library had an artist visit and he cuts out letters, primarily letters and numbers.
Well, he takes images too sometimes.
Packaging. Everything he had there was primarily though.
Primarily.
Photography.
Yes, primarily. But he does use some packaging. Because the piece he gave me was based on Shakespeare and he was using the characters
on there.
Right.
But he creates these collages, really intricate collages. Like the one that I got is pie. It's 377 places of pie. The one that I got, because you guys know I love numbers and topography.
So his name is Michael Albert. Conventional spelling on both. Michael and Albert, A-L-B-E-R-T. You can look him up. He uses food packaging. So he's recycling as well as creating art.
Yes.
And
I got like 3 pieces down, so I really didn't create anything. An hour is just not long enough for me to like.
We spent most of our time talking.
We did.
Yeah.
And then honestly, I don't think I would have been able to create anything. Like we only had an hour. That was to pick materials and do the whole thing without any like. Anyways, I wasn't gonna be able to create anything, but it's okay. I had fun. So I just have some like texture, visual texture on there. It looks so blue on the screen. That is just so weird.
Amanda Velderman, David is going to start a war between Chicago and New York now. I hate to say this. This one hurts me. New York does not care about Chicago.
No?
They never have. They
don't
care about Boston, but they don't care about Chicago.
So you guys are not even like
on the radar.
On the radar for them to even have a rivalry with
Chicago really cares about New York.
Oh, how funny is that?
Yeah, really cares. That's why when the New Yorker called Chicago the second city, it was taken as an insult. So it's a thing.
I should use that
But
one.
Chris Schmidt says I am correct, which I am. So
I am correct, which
Yeah.
I am. He's
So Chris-
always correct, Chris.
Chris gets it. Ari Sanchez says, Dom said you guys are old.
We are.
Yeah. Billy Rosendahl,
Keep living.
how do you decide what interest you want to pursue? I have so many, I'm paralyzed. Watercolors, leaf printing, clay imprints with florals, the list goes on. I've completely ruled out photography.
You know what? I want to do photography, but I just know I don't have time. And honestly, the new class I'm taking wants me to make me do it again. But I think that for us, for me, this is the conclusion I've come to. Creating is creating, right? And I don't think we have to put ourselves into different boxes. I think we can, obviously we can't do it all at the same time, but we don't have to feel limited to do one or the other. We can do it all, and we can use them all together. So I'm taking a class right now that has nothing to do with what I do, but they use the same tool that I use. And so I know that by taking this class, I'm going to learn new tools, even though this isn't exactly what I do. And so sometimes, like taking a watercolor class, for instance, you're going to learn things that you'll be able to apply in other places. And there's nothing that says that you cannot use watercolor with your other things. Like today, I have clay-based paint here. I have chalk paint here. I have acrylic paint over here that you guys can't see. I have all kinds of paint here on my table, and I don't have to choose like which one I'm going to use. I can use all of them. I even have some chalk paint. It's an acrylic-based chalk paint. This is I Love Hue. I'm sorry, Kelly. Kelly sent me these colors like I don't even know how long ago, and I never got around to using them. And I'm hoping I'm going to get to them today.
Shannon Booth says she also wants to learn them all. Just go with what I'm feeling at the time.
Yeah.
Also depends on supplies.
Yes. Some things are easier to pick up, right? Like I feel like you can pick up a watercolor palette and a nice brush and you can go, right? So that's kind of easier. Photography, that's a bigger lift because cameras aren't inexpensive.
Yeah. Pat Reed getting some background noise. Yes, it's our air conditioner. It's just too hot in Arizona to go without. Sorry,
Yeah.
Pat. Flea Brown says, I take free classes through the community college.
Flea. So, guess I'm so excited. I was telling Ari that this.
Yeah,
when
you
we're
turn
talking-
55 this
Yes.
coming year.
Woo-hoo. I turn 55 in like 6 months, and I'll get to take free classes at the local college.
Yeah.
I plan on signing up for like, I don't know what, some fun stuff. We'll see what happens.
All right, let's see. Kathleen O'Brien Hoovis, it's 2 different pizzas. I love them both. Susan Glazer, I was in Italy once, saw an advertising sign for a pizza restaurant, had an image of the Statue of Liberty, because obviously pizza is American food. Not yes and no is what we're learning. What we think of as pizza is truly American.
Yes.
But the concept of something on the dough, wood-fired, was done in Italy. Actually like New York pizza. We've got a pizzeria here that does it New York style, and I really like their pizza. And he can make it so I can eat it.
Oh, is that fancy pizza?
Fancy, yeah, fancy pizzeria, and it's good. I just like teasing people because Chicago is literally the best.
Chicago.
Detroit pizza, really, really good too. I won't stress that.
Now, what's the difference?
Detroit tends to be like in a baking pan, and it's got a thicker dough, and you put the cheese all the way to the edge. So you get that crust all the way around.
Oh,
But
like
it-
that
but-
one grilled cheese sandwich we saw the other day on YouTube.
Yeah,
I
kind
wanna
of.
try
Yeah.
that.
But it's a thicker pizza. You get like an inch thick on the dough.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it's like a pan pizza.
Kind of. It's
But
good.
better.
It's very good.
But it's not a casserole like that other
No,
pizza.
no. It's not deep dish Chicago, which by the way is not
I knew it.
What
when I
real
said it,
Chicago
I was like,
pizza
why
is.
did I even say that? Because I already knew. I feel like that blue is going to be really dark, but it's okay. We're going to move forward. Should I do cactus? No, let's do something more boho.
Amanda Velderman, yes, we get free classes at 55. She has 10 years to go.
Girl, I'm ready. I have 6 more months.
And Flea says her favorite class right now is calligraphy.
Oh, I'm jealous. Although we're going to be doing, never mind. I hate to announce things. So inside the membership, like I have curriculum that I do, but I know a lot of really talented people. And so we get to have people come in and visit with us to share other things too. So
we
Tim
have
has already
real
said,
quick question on that. What did you put on top of the paint? Stephanie
I just
Bickus.
sealed it with, I sealed it with some varnish really quickly, some water-based varnish. When I'm using transfers, I like to seal first and then use the transfers. You don't have to. You can put it right over the top, but the transfers do adhere better on like smoother sealed surfaces than they do on like chalkier surfaces.
And I do have to say this because it's important that everybody understands this. Ari says you need to put the setting on so others can join the live because Damar is saying, hi, Grandpa. Hi, Damar.
Hi, Grandpa. Not hi, Grandma. You guys see that? You guys see that? Who makes the popsicles? Grandma. Who makes the smoothies? Grandma.
Who plays wash your hair and do the dance? Grandpa does all the play.
That's what it is. Grandpa does all the fun stuff.
Yeah.
Who buys all the manipulatives for you to play with so you're not bored? Grandma.
Who lets him play with his phone?
I know.
And drop it in the toilet?
I know. See, that's it. I feel like this is a little bit too dark. I want to watch over this.
Oh, Mins also says Detroit is made with brick cheese, which is not easy to find out of the Midwest.
Oh.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
What kind of cheese?
Brick.
Okay, what's brick cheese? Yeah.
Kind of Munstery, kind of how do you describe it? It's similar to a Munster, similar to a Jack cheese, but not the same.
Okay.
It's good. I like Detroit pizza.
So
I like New York pizza
sharp?
too.
So it's sharp because Munster.
Not really.
Sharp,
No, it's
right?
not horribly sharp.
Well, we're going to the Midwest in October, so.
Min says closest to brick is Fontaine in her opinion. I don't know that I've had Fontaine. So.
Midwestern folks really do know their cheese, don't they?
Well, you got to understand, we're near a state that is built on cheese.
Oh, I know.
And I don't mean like philosophically. I think the whole state is literally built on a bed of cheese.
On a bed of cheese.
Then they put the soil on, and then the corn comes up, and it makes the corn that much better.
I don't know if that's how it works, babe.
I'd like to think it does.
I'm just trying to knock this back a little bit. That blue was just really dark. Maybe I should have, I don't know. This is what happens when I don't plan, you guys. You guys get to be witness to my craziness.
Shannon Booth says, my heart is charcoal drawing, love doodling, but currently focused on learning encaustic collage.
Encaustics are so fun. I love encaustics, but I'm not in love with the process. Like, my workshop is not well ventilated. I don't want to wear a mask when I'm creating. But I do love encaustics. They're absolutely beautiful. I'm actually working on some processes around faux encaustic that I'll be introducing inside the membership in the next couple of months. I'm super excited because I have like some more time in investment kind of encaustic, faux encaustic, and some simple faux encaustic processes that I'm.
Joan Volkman just dropped on YouTube. We did start right at the top of the hour.
I know, right? We were on time. We threw people off tonight.
So,
okay, I'm gonna
but
go
we
right
understand
over.
a lot of people are also checking out the auction.
Yes.
For
Carmen.
Carmen, thank you. So, so we get that. People are jumping back and forth. That's cool.
Yeah.
Help out Carmen. Nothing wrong with that.
I did put a link in my group. Oh man, I feel moisture on my surface, you guys. I think I may have jumped the gun. Let's see what happens. I can always tell when there's moisture too because you can see it come through your transfer. Like, I'm gonna have to wait. You guys see, you see those really dark marks? That's moisture that's sticking to the plastic. And so if you start transferring and there's still moisture, this is what you guys do. Just go ahead and rub your transfer on and then put it to the side and walk away. If I try to pull this up now, it's gonna pull my paint. And so, because I was impatient, and there's a lot of moisture. I don't know if you guys can see that. Like, there's tons of moisture in there. All those little dark marks that you see, that's the moisture clinging to the plastic. So I'm gonna set this aside, and then we can go to our next house. What time is it, babe?
It is 51.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do 2 houses.
Chris,
so I'm gonna put these away.
Chris Schmidt said, I am correct. Dig deep enough in Wisconsin, you will find cheese. Dawn Headley says, my granddaughter said the blue and orange is pretty. She's 20 months old and adorable.
Aww, of course she's adorable.
And she's a genius because she's right.
Yes. She's a genius because that's her granddaughter.
Oh, Angie's going deep on the song. She said, just walk away, Renee.
Now, I have these 2 colors, and this is from I Love Hue, and these are acrylic-based chalk paints. If there's somebody on who knows, and if I'm saying something wrong, you guys let me know. But, Kelly kind of take the best of both worlds of the chalk paint and the acrylic paint, and she put them together to create this paint brand. This color is called Bohemian Jewel, and this one is Mint Julep. I am excited. Doesn't that look like Jadette, you guys? Like, I am all in on this color right here. I'm gonna find some projects to do with it. And I'm sad because I believe she's shutting down the paint side of her company, so I might have to get me a couple of cans of this, so I'll have it. Because I was trying to figure out how to mix Jadette, but that color looks just like it, right?
Sandy Henkelman says there's a Chicago pizza place outside of Appleton, Wisconsin, about 30 miles in Wapaka, called the Wheelhouse. And she said it's very good. Her sister used to live there. And Made on Maple Lane said brick is a cross between cheddar and Limburger. I don't remember it as strong as Limburger.
Oh.
I just don't remember that.
I showed you guys the colors already, so I kind of ruined it.
But I could. I don't know. Go ahead.
I was going to ask you guys if teal is a warm color or a cool color. We'll see what everybody says. I kind of ruined it already, though.
I have a walk away Renee story.
You have a walk away Renee story?
It's moderately sad.
Okay.
So I've told Royce when I was in college, I was dating, as I have married out of my league. I was dating a woman way out of my league. She was legitimate. She wasn't a model, but she was model quality.
She was model-esque.
If you remember the You Might Think video, she looked exactly, by the cars, she looked exactly like that woman who was a model and married Rick Ocasek, and anyway, from the Cars. Okay. So she looked just like her. There's no way I should have been dating her, but she really liked scuzzy guys, and at the time...
You were a scuzzy guy, baby?
Well, it's going to make a long story.
I know, baby. It's okay. Don't tell the story.
All right.
Because it is a long story.
Anyway, she hated Ricky Lee Jones's version of Walk Away Renee, and I love Ricky Lee Jones, and that might have helped our breakup.
Are you serious?
No,
song?
she
Oh, yeah.
she ghosted me.
Okay.
I was willing to suffer on that one. But it did bother me that she hated that version.
Kind of like my tomato soup that I thought you loved, and I learned.
I was willing to suffer for it till I got you married, and then
no more.
And then I'm back to Campbell's.
So what is everyone saying? Is teal cool or warm? I kind of gave it away already because I showed my colors, but...
Stephanie Bickus, repeat the brand name, please.
This is by I Love Hue.
Mary Eiler says teal, it's a cool color. Amanda Velderman, the cool blues are more boho. And Liz H says teal.
So I would argue that it's both or either, right? Because it's relative. So like this teal is a really warm teal. It's not as warm as the one we just used. This
Flea
one's
says
the hot
both
one.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this one's a really cool teal. So it really depends. Like when we talk about color, it's complicated. It is complicated. I think I want to use, I was sitting here debating on what I want to do. I think I want to use this color because I'm like really loving this. I kind of want to, I know you guys are going to freak out, but when I see a color that I love, there's a part of me that wants to lick it. I don't know. This color is like jaded. I want to see what it looks like dry because I'm going to have to find some more of this color.
Barbara Garrels, I forgot about brick cheese. Raised in Akron, Ohio. We had it in the fridge all the time. Now I need it. I remember cutting slices off.
Well, I bet you can find it nowadays, though. Like, there has to be somebody willing. I bet you know what? There are a lot of Midwesterners in Arizona. I bet you can find brick cheese in Arizona.
Yeah, we probably can. We just have to go to a more upscale shop.
Or go to a place that caters to Chicagoans.
Yeah, and that's more Phoenix.
Yeah.
Than around here.
There are a lot of Midwesterners here, too.
Yeah, but not like the Phoenix area.
Well, I mean, so... the snowbirds who come here are coming from the Midwest.
Yeah, but yes, some of them are.
Yeah,
some are also coming from Canada.
There are more people in general in Phoenix.
Yeah.
So yes, there's more in Phoenix.
Pat Reed says, "How do you decide if it's warm or cool?"
So it really is relative, Pat, and it just depends. Like traditionally, for most of us who had like art class in school, they taught us that blues and greens were cooler colors, right? And yellows, reds, and orange were warm colors. But the reality is, it really is, it depends because colors are not, let me see how to find, I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this. Colors do not stand alone, right? Generally, we're mixing colors with other colors. So it's all relative. It's like saying I'm tall, right? And I am tall, but then when I go to my brother's house, I'm the shortest one there. So it's relative. And so even when we talk about things, when we talk about like color, it really depends. The way I think about warm is I close my eyes and I think about the sun, right, on my skin. And if a color feels warm to me, then it's warm. I don't know.
That's what I was going to ask. Is it, when we think of warm during the day, the sun is up, and we tend to get reds and yellows in the sky. And when the color, when the temperature cools, is at dusk and night, and now we're seeing blues and purples in the sky.
Yeah, but I mean, the day sky is that color blue is a cool blue.
Is that okay? It's still, okay.
So it's all relative, and we will be talking about that a lot in our Crafting with Color masterclass. And then how you can use, like, so this is like not, color theory is not just like nice information to have. Like you guys can use the information that you have about color to be able to convey different things and to be able to accomplish different things when you guys are working on projects. And it also helps you to figure out what colors to put together.
Karen Driscoll, Scrap by Scrap, says, "Hi everyone, just wanted to say hi. So sick, on my way to bed, but wanted to say hi first."
Hi, Carol, get better.
Karen Clayton says, "That looks like DIY mint chip." Angie Champagne says, "I hear people using teal to describe a color that I've always called turquoise. What's the difference?"
I know. I don't know, Angie. To me, they're the kind of the same in my mind. They occupy the same space. Because the teal is a blue-green and the turquoise is a blue-green, right? And again, that goes back to our conversation about how we all experience and perceive color differently.
Denise,
I'm going to tell you guys a secret about me. I have a hard time discerning navy from black. So much so that I've actually showed up to work with like a navy shoe and a black shoe before. It's bad. Of course, I was up at the break of dawn trying to get dressed and not disturb anybody. But our perception, it's different from person to person. I always wonder, like, if you go to school and you see a color and your teacher says, this is red, right? Like, what if we all see completely different colors? And we're calling them the same name because somebody pointed at it and said that's what it was. Sorry, I digress.
Denise Rodriguez says mint is more green, teal is more blue.
Oh, okay.
I
Well,
think
not
of
mint,
green. I think of
turquoise
green
and
when I think
teal.
mint.
We were saying turquoise and teal.
I know, but that's what
Oh,
Denise
yeah.
said. So.
Yeah, mint is more green. I mean, but teal and turquoise to me, they're the same color. I don't
Turquoise
know.
has always felt a little softer to me, whereas teal is seen a little sharper.
Oh.
I don't know if those are art terms.
And to me, turquoise, just because growing up here in Southern Arizona, there's even when you pull turquoise out of the earth, like there's variances in the color. So I don't know.
Yeah, Kathleen Uvis, if you look at a turquoise rock, has lots of different shades of color in it.
Exactly, exactly.
So,
All these little crevices in here are like full of paints. They're causing problems. But I want to do at least one more house before we go.
Joan Volkman, for those of us in the Kenosha area, we're not far from the Mars Cheese Castle. They have every type of cheese, which is true.
Every type of cheese.
Is Mars by Benoit, or am I confusing it with another stop there? Or Beloit, not Benoit, Beloit.
Beloit and Benoit.
Yeah, Beloit, excuse me. I had a flat tire in Beloit.
I'm just saying those are really two places, Benoit and Beloit.
So,
Are those two different places? Are you just correcting your pronunciation?
I think there's a Benoit, Michigan. I'm not sure on that.
Oh,
But I know
okay.
there's a Beloit, Wisconsin.
I thought maybe you were correct. Wasn't sure if you were correcting your pronunciation or if there was two different places.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
Okay.
Yolanda Payton Jones, my brother is color blind. He looks like it's blue, but say, I'm sorry, Yolanda, I'm guessing you spoke this. He looks like blue, but see, it's purple.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
I had a reporter that worked for me who was colorblind, and everything was just shades of gray for him.
Yeah. I mean, and there's probably variances from person to person because we all have, our eye, what is it, rods and cones in our eyes that interpret color. The freaky thing about color is, so light is passing through this paint, right? And the only color that's not being absorbed by this paint is this color. Like, that's why it looks like this color to us. So you think about like animals and different creatures whose eyes are not made like ours. Like, how do they see color?
I think that's why smell is so important
Yes.
to
that's
so
true.
many.
But I mean, it's just interesting, the idea that perception can be that different.
Yeah. Well, that's how dogs identify is smell. We identify sight.
Yes. A lot of animals use smell. Although if you ask my youngest, he says I have a nose of a hound dog. So with this color, I guess either of these could be right, but not right. There's no right or wrong here. Which would you use? Would you use the melange, like inlay, like these kind of really frilly elements, or would you use like floral? I'm more inclined to lean towards the floral because it gives me an opportunity to put color on here that will play well with this color. I'm gonna do the floral. You guys can still answer though. I'm just curious. I'm gonna do the floral because I cannot think of the word I'm trying to think of, but I know somebody can help me. The opposite color.
When does the color class start?
The color class starts on the 20th, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the 20th, 21st, and 22nd, I believe. If somebody's looking at it and I'm wrong, please correct me. And you guys, the replays will be available for 30 days. It's only $10. It's a low-cost course because it's not going to be as in-depth as the courses you guys are used to me giving. It's just 3 days, but the recordings will be available. So if you can't be there for the live class, then you can watch the recordings. My OBM, my online business manager, will be going through and editing the videos and reposting them. So if you're someone, because I've taken courses where they sell me the replay and you have to sit through a whole bunch of stuff. Like, I hate that. So I don't do that. So the replays will be available and they'll be like you know, cut up into smaller videos, and they'll be super concise um, and to the point. So you won't have to watch a replay of me like talking to people and chit-chatting and all that stuff. So complement, that's the color I was looking for. So I'm gonna look for a complement to this one. This is a blue-green. So I think a complement would be a beautiful pink, but more like a peachy pink, right? So let's see what we have.
C. Matheny said when her daughter-in-law was pregnant, certain colors made her nauseous.
Really? See, aren't our senses just, I mean, it's just, when you think about how we are made, we are just wonderfully and beautifully made. It's just insane. That would be pretty, although that's a little bit more pink. This one has a little bit more orange in it. I think I'm sold on this one, but we're gonna look at all of them just to make sure. Ooh, look at that sunflower, that's pretty. This one's kind of peachy, but not that one. And you know I'm an 80s baby because pink and green are like one of my favorite combinations. I think I was sold on this and I was gonna pick this to begin with, but we have to look at all of our choices anyway.
You're starting the color class at 4 p.m.?
I'm starting it a little bit early because my East Coast people are always having to be on super late.
Okay, then do I need to come home early?
You don't usually come hang out for my...
What?
Like, are you volunteering to come and participate in my...
No, I'm volunteering to take our grandson if we have him.
We don't have them. That's why I scheduled it for those days.
I thought we might have them those days.
No. That's why I scheduled it for them, because we don't have tomorrow.
Okay. Good, because I actually think I have a meeting one of those days. I think I have one of my board meetings.
There's like a fern that's here, so I'm going to do something I hardly ever do. I'm actually going to cut out a portion of this transfer.
Barbara Garrell said 6 brothers, all but one is colorblind, and her father could not be a pilot during World War II because of color blindness.
Really? I mean, it makes sense though, right? That the way your eyes are made determine how you interpret color. So if you have something that's genetic, that, you know what I'm saying, that'll be passed down. I'm having a dilemma because I don't want to waste my transfer, but it's going to be in balance if I try to, I wish. I'm going to have to waste some. Okay. Because it just, to me, it just doesn't look right. That looks better to me. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and just cut this off, and maybe I'll use it on the other side, or I'll use it for another project. And hopefully, I'm going to shoot this one more time, y'all, because we had problems on the last one. Lee, did you get a chance to watch the project for this week? So I do a pre-recorded project so you guys can see like fully what I'm going to do, and then we meet together in Zoom and we do the same project together. Only this time I'm going to like finish mine. I mean, it's finished for all practical purposes of teaching like the process, but while I was working on it, I discovered something, so I want to play with that a little bit more. Oh, this peachy color is going to look so pretty on the screen. And I laugh at myself because if you followed me for any amount of time, you guys love that I love neutrals. I mean, I love color, but I really enjoy neutrals primarily. And teal is my favorite combination. Black, white, cream, and teal. And like even a color like white can be cool. Like Antique Via, which is like a classic white, it's a little warm. If I were to compare this to like of like a white, this would actually look warm. But a color like mohair is really warm. My favorite color that Wise Owl discontinued. I'm so sad.
Felice says, sorry, we were talking. Did you ask me a question?
I was just wondering if you had time to watch the project from this week.
Billy Rosendahl says, I've used the dryer on acrylic paints before. It made the paint tacky. Did I dry too long or not enough?
The dryer, I think I use it on acrylic paint. You want to be careful not to get too close because you could like bubble it. But maybe it's just not dry yet. Because I use it with acrylic paint all the time. And I've never had that issue before. So maybe it's just not dry all the way. And then are you adding any kind of medium to extend your drying time on your acrylic paint? Just out of curiosity. Like if you're adding in like a gel medium or another acrylic medium, it might be extending the drying time on your paint. I'm playing with fire, y'all. This piece isn't really dry good, but I think I'm gonna be okay. I see people in the groups who talk about not having success with transfers, but when you are laying down your transfers, it's super important that your surface is dry if you want to have the best success. Transfers love, love, love smooth surfaces. So like if you're putting a transfer on glass or a mirror, don't touch it until you're ready to transfer it because it's going to stick like almost immediately. So if you're putting transfers over paint that you haven't sealed, sealing first may be a step to help you be more successful. And then take your time. Like, you guys will notice I'm just like taking it up a little bit at a time. And you can cheat. Like if you're impatient, I have a friend who watched me do a transfer and she's like, oh no, I can't be rubbing on nothing that long trying to get it to stick. Like she does not have the patience. You can cheat and you can make like a wave and your transfer will pop off the backing onto your surface. Just know that when you do that, like when you make that wave, you guys see how much faster the transfer comes off? That you do want to make sure and go in because it's popping off of the backing. It's not necessarily sticking to the surface first. You want to make sure and go over and just rub it and make sure that there's good adhesion between your transfer and the surface.
Angie, thank you. Just signed up for the class.
Thank you, Angie.
Billy Rosendahl said not using an additive.
Huh.
So,
Are you and I'm in the desert, girl. Everything dries here. So if you're somewhere with more humidity, that may be it too. So maybe just a longer drying time. Because I haven't had that issue. I'm going to put this right here. It's almost like there's a little opening for a little birdie right there. Were there any questions, babe?
No, I read everything we've had so far.
And if anybody came on late and you haven't snagged your free guide yet, the guide is 9 pages altogether, but that counts the cover. So there's 7 pages. But be sure you can put hashtag guide if you're here on Facebook and you'll get a link. If you're on the YouTubes, oh no, wait, that's the wrong one. If you're on the YouTubes, you can get your free guide here using this QR code. But the guide isn't just like a 1-page kind of a guide. It's pretty extensive. We did like, 7 or 8 lives last summer where we did like a really deep dive on layering your decoupage. And so this one's like paint and decoupage, transfers and decoupage, stencils and decoupage, stamps and decoupage, decoupage and decoupage, and then, your note sheets. And then I think this was Flea's favorite thing about what we did last summer is our mixed media mashup, where you had to just choose random squares and you had to implement the different things to kind of push outside of your comfort zone and outside of what you're used to doing, because those are the places where we grow creatively. Isn't that super cute? But that peachy color next to this color is really beautiful. Does anybody else think this looks like jadeite, or is it just me? Because I am like super happy that I found this color, and I'm sad because Kelly, who is the owner of I Love You, sent me this paint like last summer, and I'm barely getting around to using it. I'm sorry, Kelly. Um, but, and I did like using that paint too. I got really good coverage. This is super pretty. What should I do with the edges? I feel like this is kind of bougie, so these like really rough edges are not gonna work. Maybe some metallic, like a gold. What time is it, baby? Oh Lord, it's 6:15. Do I have time to paint the edges gold real quick?
Shannon Booth says, I see jadeite.
Yeah, Shannon, me too. That's what I'm saying. I think that's why I'm so excited about this color.
And Chris Schmidt, thank you. She says the decoupage guide is excellent. Get one.
Oh, thank you, Chris. Whenever I give away, whenever I make anything for you guys, whether it's handouts in the courses or, you know, guides for the Roycycled Insiders, even though I've been neglecting you guys for the last year, I'm sorry. I do have a bunch of resources lined up, though, to go out. So I'll be sending out resources once a month. And when if you're new to being a Roycycled Insider, you'll get the guide for layering colors, and you'll also get not an index. What do you call it, baby?
Glossary?
A glossary. Thank you. You'll get a glossary of crafting terms. If you, I've found that people that are new, like maybe you started watching people create and you've like fallen into this rabbit hole, that's what I call it. And so now you're in this place and you're watching people make like these beautiful things, and they're using terminology that maybe you just haven't, you know, used before, and nobody ever stops to explain them. So the glossary can be really helpful, especially if you're new to the niche. And so if you sign up, you'll get the guide, but you'll also get a glossary too.
Catherine Miles just joined on YouTube from Australia.
Hey, Catherine, how are you?
From Australia.
I know, I have a retailer, I'm trying to think, I have at least one retailer, Karen, who is in Australia. I know I had a new one that applied just recently. I don't see any varnish around here. I don't know why. Okay, I don't see any varnish. I'm just going to use some glazing liquid. It's fine. It's acrylic based. And I'm just mixing this with my, this is a Posh pigment, this one is. And this is my favorite color. It's pale gold. And this is a super, super fine pigment. So your color is actually gold. Sometimes when you get, what do you call these, you guys?
Oh, Beverly Skeen says Martha Stewart has a line of jadeite decor. It may become a popular color.
Ooh. I always pick it up in the thrift store when I see it. Not that I find it very often. But isn't this pretty? And it's actually gold paint. Sometimes I feel like when you buy metallic pigments, they're not fine enough, and so you end up with like glitter paint. But this pigment is ground up really, really fine, and so you actually get like a gold with this. And I'm just wiping off my little rubber spatula. I like to use a rubber spatula when I'm mixing colors, because you don't waste paint by getting it, you know, into your brush, where you're just going to wash it down the drain. It just sits on top. So I'm going to paint this real quick, baby, and then we'll be ready to go. But I want to make sure that anybody have any questions before we finish tonight. Oh, and you guys know what? I have decided, Lord have mercy, to make a commitment to posting one pre-recorded video a week. And the videos will go up on Wednesdays. So I uploaded a video last Wednesday, and it was actually a pretty detailed tutorial. I did a little caddy that I found at the thrift store, but it has a lot of decoupaging tips and tricks in that one. And so I'm going to be uploading a video every week, so you guys can look out for
Varnish in your silicone cup, Flea says.
Huh?
Oh, Shannon was asking, what are you mixing it with? And Flea said varnish.
Yeah, you can mix it with whatever water-based product you have. Varnish, clear coat, they're the same thing, right? For all practical purposes when we talk about them. I just used some glazing liquid because that's what I had close, some acrylic glazing liquid. But you can use varnish, clear coat, whatever you call it, top coat. You can mix it and create your own metallic paint.
Joan has a question, Joan Volkman. When you use a heat gun to dry your paint, besides waiting for your piece to dry, do you think it would help to wait for your piece to cool off as well before transfer?
Probably. I'm always rushing because I'm live. If I were creating, I'd have more patience. That's how we get multiple projects, right? Because we have to wait for stuff to dry. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Amber Demakowitz says that gold is beautiful. Is it Posh?
It is. This is Posh's pigment, and it's pale gold, which is my favorite gold. Solly has several different golds. This one is my favorite, is the pale gold. And yes, this is a Posh pigment. And this little jar, it's a small jar, but you guys see how much paint I was able to make with just a little bit of pigment. I like it a lot. And you can mix this pigment in your clear coat. You can mix it in your wax if you want it to have like a metallic wax. That's the benefit of having it kind of in a powder, because you can mix it with whatever you're using. But that one came out really pretty. I don't know about my boho one, you guys. I'm gonna let that one dry. And after everything's dry, I'll go in and I'll seal this. I kind of want to put some topography on here. I might ultimately put some topography over the top. We'll see. And I can tie, I've been working on my finishings, you guys. So I may put some topography over the top, and then I can tie some raffia or something around and put a small bow on this, and that'll be really cute.
I like the fact that closed captioning literally spelled, because you said I'm going to let it dry, but it spelled it I-M-M-A. I'm gonna let this dry.
I'm gonna let this dry. I know we are not fancy over here, but you guys see how I'm able to go back and finish transferring this. So if you find yourself in like dire straits because you tried to do it too fast, don't pull up your paint. Just set your transfer aside and let it chill, and you'll be able to come back and finish transferring it.
All right, Joan Volkman says the mint piece needs a bee on it.
Ooh,
Amber
wrong.
says she's mixed Posh and resin.
Yes.
So
It's beautiful. I've mixed Posh and resin, or you can dust your molds. Like if you're using your molds, you can dust it with the Posh and then pour your resin.
Ruru2 says, darn it, I was going to use that transfer with Sweet Pickins Purple Posies. It's a light grayish lavender. Now I'm loving it with the jadeite color. It's beautiful together.
You could do both. Just saying. You're not limited. Oh my, this rose is bigger than I eyeballed it. I don't know about this piece, you guys. I'm not loving it. But I'm going to finish it.
Kathleen Uvis, did you finish the door from last week?
Oh, no, I still have to do crackle. So, Posh came out with a new 2-part crackle medium. And y'all, see what had happened was I went to go order it, and then something sparkly came by, I guess, and I got distracted, and I didn't actually push submit on my order, so I did not get it in time. So I'm gonna because we were just gonna do crackle over that piece. So we'll do crackle over that piece. Probably not next week. Next week we want to do, I want us to blend your decoupage edges by matching the color. We're going to do that together. So the week after we'll go back to the door and we'll do some crackle over the top of the door.
Flea says the orange teal piece is my favorite.
Is it? Okay, Flea, you're making me feel better, because I'm like, I had a different, and I didn't even have a specific picture in my mind, but I had a specific, feeling. Does that make sense to y'all? In my mind. And I don't feel like I executed that. But and that's another thing about color, right? Like we all have a different, and I'm taking this one class and the instructor talks about taste a lot. And you guys know how I am about like, I don't know. I think your taste is your taste. You know, there's not good taste or bad taste. There's just different tastes. People kill me. Just because people don't think like you, it's bad? No. So people have different tastes, which is fine. This just, I don't know. I don't know if this isn't exactly what I saw in my mind, I guess. But I guess it's prettier now that I'm looking at it from far away. Should I put a little, like a trim piece right there, or should I leave well enough alone? I should leave well enough alone, huh? I'm gonna answer my own question. And I feel like this one would look really good if I went around the edges and waxed it with a dark wax. But these are the two that we made today, right? And they have completely different personalities because we made different color choices. And so, I don't know, when people tell me I don't need to know color theory because I'm not an artist, I'm like, if you're creating, the more you understand color, like the more successful you're gonna be. And honestly, sometimes you feel like when you learn rules that it boxes you in, right? But I feel like if I learn rules and I understand them, then I can break them. So we're gonna learn the rules of color so we can break them. And so then we'll have more options. But that's all I had today, unless you guys can think of anything else. Someone on YouTube asked me about the texting number, and I did not get to answer her. I apologize. But can you read off that number over there, babe, for people to text? Whenever I'm about to come live, usually about like 15, 10, sometimes 5 minutes before I come live, I send out a text and just remind you that I'm going to go live. I really don't text for any other reason very often, unless there's like a launch of new papers or new stencils. Generally, I just text as an alert, because I know Facebook doesn't always alert you guys when we're going to be live. And if you're on YouTube, I don't know if you get an alert at all, unless we schedule it, maybe. I don't know how that works. But David is over there typing again.
There you go.
Thank you, Kathleen. Thank you guys so much for joining us this evening. We really appreciate it. Oh, you put on YouTube too, babe?
I did. I put it on both.
Oh, thank you. So you can just text hello, and then you'll automatically be put on my texting list. So you're going to text alert whenever we're going to go live, or if we have a special sale, or I don't know. I really don't text a lot though, so don't worry. I'm not going to be spamming you with multiple texts. And I think that's it, unless you could think of anything else. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. I appreciate you guys always. You guys make me come in here and play, which is good, because otherwise I'll be at my desk all day on my computer. You guys have a blessed day. And again, today, as always, there isn't anything that I've done today that you cannot absolutely do. You guys can do this. You can do it today. We'll see you guys next Sunday, Lord willing. You guys have a blessed week.